Lord of the Mysteries. Chapter 11:27. Sefirah Castle. Only after the two burning dark red fireballs floated over from the Hounds of Fulgrim and landed in front of him did Klein snap back to his senses. He felt puzzled and relieved. Why did they harm themselves to come up with a pair of eyes for me? These eyeballs seem to have thick and sticky blood covering them. If this is their trap, I would have already stepped into it. To think that I fell into a daze for a few seconds. This is a fatal mistake for a Bizarro sorcerer in battle. However, no matter who it is, it's inevitable that they will have similar reactions when encountering something like this the first time. The terrifying enemy who they had meticulously planned to deal with had ended up kneeling down and wagging their tails the moment they see them. This is like a dream. This performance is very similar to Erodza's. Could the great existence above the spirit world be able to showcase special traits in the spirit world? As this thought flashed through his mind, he looked at the two dogs that were prostrating themselves in the void and wagging their tails. He stretched out his left hand and grabbed the two dark red flames and large amounts of thick, dark red blood. The moment he came into contact with these things, he suddenly heard familiar ravings and roars. They were sometimes shrill, sometimes dull, sometimes maniacal, sometimes seductive, sometimes crazy, and sometimes ethereal. Immediately following that, an illusory, grayish-white fog appeared in front of him. The fog spread out in all directions. Above them, there was a towering and majestic palace that looked like a god's residence. This was a very familiar scene, because every time he entered the mysterious space above the gray fog, he would pass through it. In the beginning, it was difficult for him to notice his surroundings after he took 4 steps counterclockwise. However, as he got used to it, and with the advancements of his sequence, he was able to easily take the opportunity to observe the phenomenon. And at that moment, Klein hadn't chanted the honorific name of Celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessings, or taken 4 steps counterclockwise. This made him extremely wary. Then, he saw a few figures appear in the endless gray fog. They overlapped with the gray fog at times while separating at other times. They were none other than Hounds of Fulgrim with their eyes burning with dark red flames, and their bodies covered in short black fur. The 2 Hounds of Fulgrim that had lost one eye each returned to their companion's side and blended into the dark spots in the gray fog. The entire phenomenon vanished as well. In the depths of the spirit world, Klein realized that there were no longer any Hounds of Fulgrim around him. Only his 2 marionettes and strange spirit world creatures remained. Klein lowered his head and looked at the eyeballs and blood in his hand. With their presence, he confirmed that what he had just experienced was not an illusion. The Hounds of Fulgrim are also known as Sefirah Castle Keepers. They live in the historical void. I saw them active within the gray fog before fusing with the dark spots. Combining what he had seen and heard, Klein gradually came to a bold conclusion. Perhaps Sefirah Castle is referring to the mysterious space above the gray fog. It's referring to that strange door of light. As for the gray fog, it's a symbolic object formed from all the history in the spirit world. There are void gaps present in it. Every time I enter the mysterious space through the gray fog, I leave certain traces there, making the Hounds of Fulgrim no longer feel unfamiliar with me. They see me as the owner of Sefirah Castle, so when they saw me, they immediately offered me what I needed and shook their tails to gain my favor. After a day of planning, asking about the situation, and inviting helpers, I ended up targeting my own guards? As he thought of this, he inexplicably felt a sense of absurdity at the situation. It felt like the fool above the gray fog was reaching out, his hands to fleece someone, only to end up fleecing himself. Phew! Sefirah Castle. Although this development makes me even more afraid, in any case, I still have some understanding of the owner of the gray fog and that mysterious space. The unknown is the most terrifying thing. After standing silently in the depths of the spirit world for a moment, Klein slowly exhaled and summoned his 2 marionettes back. He planned on waiting for the Bizarro sorcerer potion to be completely digested before attempting to seek out relevant knowledge about Sefirah Castle from Erodz and other places. When the time came, if anything were to happen, he could use his advancement to fight it. East Borough, in a 2-bedroom rental apartment. With her dark eye circles, Furs returned and retrieved the day's newspaper and letters in passing. How was it? Zio, who had just returned home for lunch, asked. Furs covered her mouth and yawned. Not bad. The editor I know is very satisfied with my new book's topic and writing style. He decided to arrange for its serialization as soon as possible. You might not be aware, but the horror stories of Backlands hospitals have been very popular recently. A best-selling author had gained inspiration from it and is beginning to serialize similar stories. I'm actually not the first to do so. This is a good thing. Zio thought about it and nodded seriously. This meant that Furs, who had also written the horror stories of Backlands hospitals, wouldn't attract too much attention. Her new pen name wouldn't be tested either. I know. Furs threw the newspaper aside and took out a few letters that were stuffed in it before quickly flipping through them. Soon, she found the reply letter from her teacher, Dorian Gray Abraham. Furs's expression immediately turned solemn as she quickly tore open the envelope. She spread open the letter and began reading. Benjamin Abraham is from Intis. He lived in Roselle's era. Apart from mysticism knowledge and a small amount of inheritance, he didn't leave anything of value behind. Later on, everything was destroyed by the Aurora Order. I'm unable to provide the corresponding information. Mr. Gehrman Sparrow is about to be disappointed. Furs pursed her lips and pulled off a magic trick, burning the letter in her hand to ashes. Then, she began writing a reply, asking her teacher if she knew of the secret ruins of Blood Emperor Listitutor. Klein went above the gray fog and listened to Miss Magician's prayers. The trail of clues for Benjamin Abraham have come to an end. It's all the fault of those lunatics from the Aurora Order. At the same time, he learned of the serialization of the horror stories of Backlands hospitals. After returning to the real world, and just as he was about to head out for a meal, he suddenly saw Miss Messenger walk out of the void with 4 heads in her hand. One of them had a letter in its mouth. Who sent it? Asked Klein in puzzlement. Rionette Tynker's remaining 3 heads replied. Seduced idiot. Who is that? Klein grew confused as he took the letter and opened it. The mastermind behind those matters is George III. His goal is to become the Black Emperor. Are you interested in stopping this matter? Trissy. Trissy? This demoness actually dares to write me a letter. Isn't she afraid of being caught by Miss Messenger on the spot? Oh right, Miss Messenger just said that the sender was a seduced idiot. Trissy seduced a man and got him to help her summon the messenger while she hid far away and waited for the other party to contact her through a mirror? She's pretty smart. She really is very persistent in investigating this matter. Isn't she afraid that she'll be killed by either me or George III? That man should be a beyonder. It would be quite difficult for an ordinary person to hold a summoning ritual. After all, it relies on one's spirit and spirituality. Klein was first puzzled before he came to a realization. Immediately following that, he began to wonder why Trissy managed to guess that George III wanted to become the Black Emperor. Without sufficient mysticism knowledge, and without knowing the Black Emperor's apotheosis ritual or the corresponding history, even a demigod would find it difficult to guess. It definitely wasn't as easy as the Red Angel evil spirit had said. Could it be that Trissy has other helpers? Or could it be that she has obtained more power from the primordial demoness, including all sorts of knowledge and secrets? Klein frowned slightly as he felt that there was something amiss. If there was a chance, he would definitely get rid of demoness Trissy. After thinking for more than 10 seconds, he took out a piece of paper and pen from his pocket and scribbled a reply. I'm interested, but I don't know what you want to do. In the Backland Bridge area, a man in his 30s looked in horror as the headless woman, no, the 4-headed demoness reappeared before him and dropped a letter. Are all the messengers in the mysterious world so terrifying? Only about 5 minutes after Rionette Tynker left did the man catch his breath. He picked up the letter and opened it to take a look. During this process, his gaze gradually burned because it meant that he could meet that beautiful woman again. According to her instructions, he waited until the evening before he took out the black sticky lump. He separated them and applied them evenly onto a mirror. A few seconds later, the mirror turned dark, as if it was connected to another world. In the blink of an eye, the mirror presented a room that was completely different from the present environment. There was a young girl dressed in a dark black dress. She was none other than Demoness Trissy. The man who finished the ritual immediately revealed an infatuated expression as he subconsciously whispered. The reply said that he's interested. The light dimples on the sides of Trissy's cheeks slowly bloomed, making the mirror appear brighter. Her eyebrows relaxed as she said, "I'll send you a letter. Forward it to Gehrman Sparrow. You absolutely cannot read its contents." After obtaining the man's unhesitant promise, Trissy stretched out her right hand and swiped it across the mirror, causing the dark aqueous light to disappear. She immediately found pen and paper and deliberated for a few seconds before quickly writing. The secret mausoleums needed for the George III's ritual should be from Blood Emperor Alista Tudor, and there is in existence who understands it very well. It might be able to help us successfully infiltrate and cause damage during the ritual. I have a way to contact that existence, but we have to wait until the next full moon. What you need to do is provide me with some blood, hair, flesh, or bones from a descendant of the Abraham family. Trissy,